Welcome back to Hail to the Hobbies. Today's hobby is fantasy football. And I just wanted to give you guys some insight on how I was thinking and how I'm going through my drafts. A couple players to keep your eyes on, or at least I think worthy of keeping your eyes on. First up, I have Jalen Hurts. He was one of the top scorers for quarterbacks last year, and he's got his legs, he's learning how to throw better, and he's got all these receivers. I say all these. He's got Javante Smith and A.J. Brown. He's got some good receivers to work with now on the Eagles. They're going to be good this year. He's going to be able to run the ball, and he can get those points with his legs. He gets touchdowns. He's going to be able to pass. He's going to be a good hit. And that I am targeting him in like round 5 if I'm going for him. Next up, I have Russell Wilson. We all know Russ can cook. Last year and previous years, he's had DK, Metcalf, and Tyler Lockett. Russell Wilson now has Jeudy and Courtland Sutton to work with. And not only that, he has Javante Williams and Melvin Gordon, who are two really good running backs. And when he was in Seattle, they had Chris Carson, who was really good, but kept battling injuries. Rashad Penny kept battling injuries. So now he's got two healthy running backs, and God forbid something happened to them, but he's going to be able to rely on them for those running plays, not have hurt people, and he's still got those deep threats in Jeudy and Courtland Sutton, good receivers. Russ is going to be great, and you can get him at later round, maybe like round 9, depending on your league, so you can get other value earlier in your draft. Next up, I have Javante Williams. He took a huge step forward last year from being a rookie, and this year he is going to be great. He's got Russ, again, who's going to open the field for him more. So with that deep threat, with Russ being able to throw the ball, there's not going to be as many stacked boxes. He's going to be able to get through the line. He's going to be a great running back this year because of Russ opening everything. J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins is going to be the number 1 running back for Baltimore this year. His main competition is going to be Lamar because Lamar loves doing those scramble plays and running like that. But I think they're going back to a heavy run offense, which is hugely going to help J.K. Dobbins. So he's one that I'm targeting. Next up, I have Alvin Kamara. This one's a little bit more of a risky pick because the NFL hasn't made that decision yet because of all the legal arguments, blah, blah, blah. He could be a really good pick this year because you may have him the whole year. They may not do any of that suspension. He may also be a good pick just for the first half because let's say it goes 6 weeks, they make that suspension notice, and he's suspended for 6 games. Then you're kind of out of luck. But you got those good 5 games at least. He's been one of the top running backs, in my opinion. So I'm drafting him early if I get the chance. Not super high, but maybe 4th round, maybe 3rd, since everything keeps getting pushed back. That's depending on your league too, but 3rd round is pretty good. Next, I have Jamar Chase. Now, I think Jamar Chase is going to be really good this year. I think he's worth that 1st round pick if you're late in that 1st round. I think that Jamar is going to have some competition though, because just like what happened to Tyreek Hill the year before, he's going to have that same coverage. People are going to be like, oh, he had such a great year last year, we're doubling him, blah, blah, blah. They still have T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, so that might help spread a little bit of the defense there. But I think teams are really going to focus on Jamar and not let him have those deep balls and deep catches like he did last year. Still going to be great, just taking a little hit. Next up, I have Jeudy. Jeudy is a massive step forward with Russell Wilson. He went from Drew Lock to Russell Wilson. And we saw how Russ could treat Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. He made them look great, which they're great on their own. But Jeudy, I've just got a really good gut feeling about him this year. Now I got Robert Woods. Robert Woods is number 1 for the Titans now. The Titans are not super heavy on run, on passing, which is fine. But having that late round pick in Robert Woods is going to be huge to have a number 1 receiver on that offense. Next up after that, I have A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown is going to be good in this Eagles offense. He's got Devontae Smith on the other side. He's got Jalen Hurts, who's starting to throw the ball better, and Jalen can run the ball. So teams are going to be worried about that, just like with Lamar, and they have to press up a little bit. It's going to help get A.J. Brown that extra separation, extra distance that he needs. I think A.J. Brown's going to be good. Darren Waller. I think Darren Waller is going to be good. They've got some extra mouths to feed with Devontae Adams coming in from Green Bay. But he's been one of Derek Carr's favorite targets the past couple years as long as he's healthy. And coming off of injury, I think he's going to be pretty good this year. Next up, we got Kyle Pitts. This is kind of the opposite factor. They don't have as many mouths to feed there. They don't have the greatest pass catchers. They got Drake London this year, who could be a reach in your draft. But Kyle Pitts has proven himself last year. It's going to kind of come down to Marcus Mariota. And I don't think that the Falcons are going to be super great this year. So they're going to be passing a bit to keep up with teams and stay in competition, which more passing equals more catches. Better for Kyle Pitts, taking him high. Now on to some draft strategy. This year I did not get the best picks in my drafts. I got the 11th pick in a 12-man team, 10th pick in a 14-man team, or 14-team league. So it's a little rough. In those ones, I think I'm going to double up on running backs in the first round because running back depth is just so small this year. So if I can get 2 good running backs early on, I think I can get those wide receivers, those value wide receivers later on in the rounds. Also, this year, I'm focusing on filling out my roster pretty quick. Now, in past years, I've gone running back, or running back wide receiver, and just filling that up, getting my flex, getting a couple backup running backs or wide receivers. This year, I'm doing a little different. I am going for that running back, wide receiver, probably in those first 4 rounds because those are the money makers, guys. Those make the most points. Maybe a high tight end if I get that Travis Kelce pick, Mark Andrews, or Kyle Pitts maybe. Then I'm actually going to go for one of those higher quarterbacks. I'm going to let other people go high on the Josh Allen, who's getting drafted in like 2nd round, 1st round in some leagues. To me, that's way too high for a quarterback. You can get that other value with running back and wide receiver. But 5th round, maybe 6th round, I'm going to go for quarterback. And if there's, for some reason, an early run on quarterbacks, I'll let it go down to Russ Wilson because I've been seeing him get drafted, at least in my mock drafts, at about round 9, which is a huge value for Russ. So I'm trying to fill out my roster space really quick. The only 2 I'm leaving are the defense and the kicker. Those 2 I can really wait on. I think I might pick a defense earlier this year just to kind of see what happens because the past few years I've been playing waivers, like, oh, this defense has been up, whatever. But kicker, that's going to be last pick. Kicker does not make that much of a difference. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Hopefully it helps you in your drafts. That's kind of how mine's going. I'll keep you all updated on how my drafts go and how my teams do this year. Best of luck to you, and hail to the hobby.